degrees. Snow showers are likely on Wednesday with mostly cloudy skies and a high near 31. Then we have a chance of snow showers Wednesday night with mostly cloudy skies, low around 17 degrees. And Thursday should be partly sunny with a high temperature near 34 degrees. And that is your noon hour weather update brought to you by all of us here at KSMO, where it is now time for the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report.
Sorting through a box of scrapbooks and newspaper clippings in my attic, the story of the first 2 decades of my involvement in community 4-H FFA school activities and more was well documented in our local newspaper. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. The man behind the camera and the printing press who lived on Main Street and published the Winchester Times died at the age of 92. As his obituary stated, he was one of the last old-time newspaper publishers. And from that paper, we learned who died in the past week, who got married, what they wore, and who stood up with them. We learned what was being served in the school cafeteria, what time Sunday service would be held at each of our local churches, and what was on sale that week at the local IGA. Every basketball and football game, the Chamber of Commerce Women's Club, and County Farm Bureau meetings were covered. If someone grew a remarkable vegetable in their garden, received a scholarship, or celebrated an anniversary, you can bet their picture would show up in the Times. Elmer Fetter was the publisher, editor, and photographer for my hometown newspaper. The changes he must have seen in his 60 years in the newspaper business. I remember the smell of newsprint wafting out into the street from the Times office. I remember Elmer's presence, or the presence of someone he employed, in nearly every memory from my childhood and teen years. From homecoming parades to high school proms and school plays, band concerts to Santa's arrival on the square, the newspaper covered them all. Rest in peace, Elmer Fetter. You made a positive difference in the community of my childhood, and I hold tight to the memories so well documented in the newspaper clippings in that box in my attic. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield. That's my 2 cents.
This spotlight on Missouri soybeans policy is brought to you by the Missouri Soybean Association. Missouri Soybean Association board member Garrett Rieckhoff says water rights is a policy focus during Governor Mike Kehoe's administration.
The concern we have is ensuring that the water resources under a particular farm owner's farm are used and capable of being used for that farm's production.
Rieckhoff's Lafayette County farm lacks irrigation resources, but he points out Missouri's agricultural diversity, which provides those resources to farmers in other parts of the state, making water issues very significant.
There are certain areas of the state that water is as important to them as the dirt itself. And so how can we fight and make sure that we get a better set of rules is what we're focused on.
Learn more at mosoy.org and on the Spotlight podcast from dues-paying members of the Missouri Soybean Association.
Spring Training 2025 in Jupiter, Florida is just around the corner, and the boys of summer will be back on the field before we know it.
With amazing feats, unforgettable moments, and spectacular plays you won't soon forget. We will be there from the first pitch to the final out.
Bringing you all the excitement right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Listen to Cardinals Spring Training games every weekend starting February 22nd, right here on KSMO Radio.
Hey, it's Fitz, the guy who plays the hits from the Country Top 40. And if you missed this last weekend, it was Morgan Wallen who was knighted as the official king of the Countdown Castle with Love Somebody. But can Morgan do it again this weekend, or will he get dethroned during this Super Bowl weekend? We'll see you for all the hits on the Country Top 40 with Fitz right here.
Thursday was light to moderate and cash hogs were mixed. I'm John Perkins with the Brownfield Livestock Update. Direct cash cattle business yesterday was light to moderate. Sales are reported at $206 on the live basis in Kansas and Texas, $2 lower than last week's weighted average for the region, with some dress sales in Nebraska at $328 and a handful of live sales at $208. That follows up on Wednesday's activity at $205 live in Kansas, $3 lower, and $328 dressed in Iowa and Nebraska, down $1. Asking prices were firm at $208 live and $329 plus dressed. USDA says beef export sales were up on the week. Box beef did close mixed with light to moderate movement. Choice was down to $1.36 at $323.98, and select was up 44 at $314.77. The estimated cattle slaughter of 118,000 head was down 4,000 on the week and nearly 4,000 on the year. At the Clarinda livestock feeder cattle sale in Iowa compared to the previous week, 5 to 600 pound steer calves are up 8 to 12, with 6 to 700 pounders as much as 6 higher, while steers weighing 750 and over had a lower undertone to losses of 6. All heifer weight classes were fully steady to $2 to $6 higher. USDA says demand was very good. Medium and large number one feeder steers weighing 600 to 700 pounds were reported at $313.50 to $335. 7 to 8 weight steers brought $276.50 to $296.50. Medium and large number one feeder heifers weighing 500 to 600 pounds range from $313.50 to $335. 6 to 7 weight heifers sold at $274 to $306. Cash hogs were narrowly mixed with light closing negotiated numbers at the major direct markets. Looks like most buyers have the needed near-term numbers in hand after more aggressive movement earlier on in the week. Buyers and sellers continue to monitor ready numbers, wholesale business, and global demand. Pork export sales were above a week ago. National direct barrels and gilts were 48 cents lower at the base price range of 80 to 88 for a weighted average of 86.23. Iowa Southern Minnesota was down 22 cents at 86.98. The Western Corn Belt was up 7, also at 86.98. Butcher hogs in Dorchester, Wisconsin and Garnerville, Iowa were steady at 60. Pork closed $1.81 higher at 95.64. Loins, butts, hams, and bellies were sharply higher, while picnics were weak and ribs were sharply lower. The estimated hog slaughter of 481,000 head was down 2,000 on the week and more than 10,000 on the year. We're online at brownfieldagnews.com. John Perkins, Brownfield.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too, to help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose, paid for by Bayer.
My doctor said I could use something called a biosimilar. Then she told me what it is.
A biosimilar is a type of biologic medication. Just like brand name drugs have generic versions, original biologics can have biosimilars.
So I asked what the benefits are and if they work the same.
Biosimilars have the same safety, effectiveness, and quality as the original biologic. They also offer more medication options at potentially more competitive prices.
My doctor said I could learn more at fda.gov/biosimilars.
That has been the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report. It is now time for a look at updated funeral announcements being brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County for over 30 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they are available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker, and online at our website, KSMOradio.com. Your World Today. Be sure and pick one up every weekday or check it out online. Edith Marie Skiles, age 98 of Salem, passed away Friday, January 24th. Memorial services for Edith Skiles will be Saturday at 12 noon at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Edith Skiles will also be Saturday from 11 in the morning until service time at noon. Burial will be in the Mount Hermon Cemetery. Edith is survived by her loving children, Joyce Davis of Paris, Missouri, Darrell Skiles and wife Mary Ann of Salem, and Sherry Skiles of Salem, daughter-in-law Rita Skiles of Salem. Numerous grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren also survive, as well as several nieces and nephews, other relatives, and friends. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to Mount Hermon Cemetery. And all arrangements for Edith Marie Skiles of Salem are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Johnny Kenneth Cooper, age 90 of Salem, passed away Monday, February 3rd. Memorial services for Johnny Cooper will be held Sunday at 2 in the afternoon at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Johnny Cooper will also be on Sunday from 12 noon until service time at 2 o'clock. Johnny is survived by his wife, Patsy Cooper of Salem, son Wesley Cooper of Springfield, Missouri, brother Gary Cooper and wife Verna of Salem, sister Beverly Millsap and husband Gene of Salem. Other survivors include several nieces and nephews, other relatives, and friends. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to the Love Pack Backpack Program, Salem Public Library, or Warm My Heart. Envelopes will be available, and all arrangements for Johnny Kenneth Cooper of Salem are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Debbie King, age 73 of Salem, passed away February 5th. Funeral services for Debbie King will be Monday at 12 noon at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Debbie King will also be on Monday from 10 in the morning till service time at 12 noon. Debbie is survived by her daughters, Angelina Ayers, Tammy Dudley, Cynthia Chilton and husband Larry, bonus daughter Brenna Mills Suling and husband Christopher, siblings Susan DeJarnett and husband Dennis of Maryland Heights, Missouri, Gary King of Salem, and Gwen Beers and husband Ted of St. Louis County. A host of grandchildren and great